All right, everybody, welcome back to Behind the Lens. This is your boy, your host, Zoe. Listen, y'all, I am super excited for our guest today. We have none other than Mr. and Mrs. Carter. How are you guys doing today?
We're good. We're
We're doing awesome.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us. Yeah.
Thank you for accepting the invitation. I'm just stoked because I met you guys in 2019 at the Anthony Hamilton book signing event.
Yes.
And you were selling your products, your pancakes, pancake mix. Yeah, pancake mix. At the time, I didn't have the syrup yet, did y'all?
So we had the syrup, but at the time we were more so displaying, our pancake mixes. And
yeah, because the pancake mix had just came out at that time.
Yeah.
We had just launched the pancake mix. We started with the syrups first, so like that was what we were trying to highlight. And we made little pancake pops for the event while we were vending.
That was right. Yep, because I did buy a pack.
Did you? Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
And speaking of pancakes, let's go ahead and introduce your business. You're the owners and operator of Blanket Pancakes and Syrup.
Absolutely. So we're the owners. It's a family-owned business, Blanket Pancakes and Syrup. We love telling our story because it's honestly, can highlight exactly the heartbeat of why we started it. So I basically had complications during my second pregnancy. And we basically had to make our own recipes because the doctor gave me a choice. Either you're gonna, bed rest, medicine, or you're gonna do what you have to do and no more. He gave a list of foods of the no mores.
Yeah.
And that list was very stressful when you're pregnant. It was very stressful.
Yep. And cravings start kicking in.
Because he had to take
she like what she like, and that's all she's gonna get.
Ooh.
Well, honestly, we found out quickly that no preservatives, quick, easy, all natural foods, it don't work in the world of I guess.
Well, I'll say this: it's not that it necessarily didn't work. The options were a bit more limited back then. So we're talking about 2017 when we started the business. So you didn't have a lot of the things we have today, like Impossible burgers, meat, all that stuff. It was very bland. And then the things that did have flavor were more on the high premium end that, weren't as accessible everywhere. And, you're paying a price for it.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at, okay, how can we do this with our budget, making sure that, she's still eating good. And this was a family dynamic change for us. So it wasn't just Marquita, we decided to do this corporately as one unit. So we had to create what we couldn't find in the marketplace. And that's where Blanket came from. We wanted to start an all natural food company where you don't have to go on the spectrum of saying we're necessarily the healthiest brand out there, but we're giving people an opportunity to make healthier decisions in terms of their dietary habits.
And just to add to that, I can only speak when I was pregnant. My story is they didn't have anything that I liked. It was like, oh, where are you kidding me? I can't eat that. I can't eat this. But so when we created it and I gravitated into it, the whole family gravitated to it. It was just
yeah.
Because
it's not only all natural, quick and easy, but it tastes great. So.
There it is.
You got that trifecta going.
It does. And since I've met you guys, you've came up with more flavors, right?
We do. So we have our original buttermilk, chocolate chip. We added vegan since then. We have the honey butter, vanilla bean, and then we're going to be launching a sweet potato flavor this fall.
See, we didn't tell everybody, but we waited for your show.
I'm honored. I can't wait. I love sweet potatoes now. Awesome. So with the pregnancy and you're realizing you can't eat all of this different types of food, how big was the adjustment? Like more on a mental standpoint and
So if you're asking my mindset when I was pregnant, it was huge. For my family, I guess I would like to get your take on it because it affected all of us.
Right.
Oh, Lord Jesus, it did affect me. So at first, we didn't know what kind of direction we want to go with it, in terms of the whole dynamic. So we went raw at first, it was like drastic, radical change. So nothing cooked, it was just raw, like spinach, kale, juicing. And then, we were like, okay, well, this isn't sustainable for us. I need a steak. I need a burger every now and then, so we said, okay, well, what's going to work for us? So, we started incorporating more things, still staying away from preservatives, high fructose corn syrup, artificial ingredients.
Bleached.
We don't use bleached food, like bleached flour, no aluminum in our food. And then we just kind of shifted into what worked for us.
Okay.
So, Marquita landed on, going raw, then she went vegan, then she settled on being a pescatarian. I cut off meat for a while, did cleanses and stuff like that, but then I went back to it, and we just found kind of that blend that worked for us, where we were, being able, somewhere where we can maintain kind of the healthy lifestyle we wanted to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. My wife and I might need to take some notes from you guys. So we like to explore, me more so than her, like to explore like different foods. Like we'll have a period of time where we'll do, vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian. Get some recipes from you guys.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. So with the business Blanket Pancake and Syrup, how long did it take for it to get off the ground?
So that's a great question. Yeah. We took our business kind of in stages, the way we approached it. So when we started the business, right after Marquita had the baby, I was going to grad school.
Okay.
So I was working on my MBA from Wake Forest. Marquita was still on maternity leave. When we decided to do the business, we said, okay, well, Marquita won't go back to CMS as a teacher. She'll, stay out of work, and then, we'll just focus on the business. I'll support that family with just my income. And, we'll just take it, start off slowly but surely, work it as a hobby. We decided to go very lean in the business. One, we didn't have any capital at the time when we started the business. We just kind of started it, on a, wing and a prayer. And so, we took the approach of, okay, we're going to do the syrups first. Started doing farmers markets, kind of gauge people's reaction to the products. We started experimenting with the pancake mixes. So we stayed very small at first. So did farmers market, specialty food stores around town. We were about 5 different stores at one time, kind of just gaining experience. It wasn't until around 2019 when we started talking to supermarkets. So we started talking about the local program, how we get our products on retail shelves. And then again, we had the pandemic beginning of 2020 when we were, those conversations were starting to accelerate, where we were about to get into some stores. Pandemic hit. So that kind of just shut everything down. That forced us to pivot. We weren't going to shut our business down, of course, but we need to find a way to reach our customer. If we can't go to any farmers markets, we can't go to any pop-up shops or anything like that, how are people going to purchase our products? So we focused on enhancing our website. We had a website at the time, but really wasn't using it. So we converted to an e-commerce centric business. We took our dining room, we made a set. And we, designed our set. We started doing cooking videos. We started, focus on social media. It started to resonate really well. We did great with that, saw, uptick in sales. And then as we started going into the pandemic, we really started getting a lot of support from a lot of people who wanted to support, small businesses, minority businesses during the pandemic. That really helped us a lot with just overall getting our sales where we wanted it to be. And, word of mouth started catching on. A lot of people started really liking our products, and we kind of hit a really great stride where we got to a point where we were doing about, like 5,000 units a month or so.
Yeah.
Just doing online sales, and we were starting, at the time, we were just making it a commercial kitchen. We go to commercial kitchen, make, small batches, and just ship them off from there. So we saw that at that point, this could shift from being a hobby to a business that could really support our family, but we didn't want to jump straight into it.
No.
We still got bills to pay. I didn't quit my day job, so soon. We wanted to make sure that we had a financially sound business.
Right.
And when the need dictated that I needed to leave my my full-time job so that I can focus and invest more into the business, that's when we decided to really ramp it up.
And I'm glad that we're talking about it, because during that time, the way my husband is giving that timeline, it was extremely scary. I mean, you know, you have to make tough decisions, you know, and I think a lot of times people think that we're going to start this business and we're going to jump dive in and make all this money. It doesn't happen like that.
No.
And so you have to take, like my husband was saying, you have to take an approach of the planned out.
Well, you gotta know, you gotta work with what you got. You have to
Yeah,
be very
the tools.
intentional. Again, starting a business before we even, we got, some major deals before we even had access to any capital.
Mhm.
So we had to take this lean approach. So, going into the end of 2019, knowing that, no, I'm sorry, the end of 2020.
2020, yes.
Yeah, knowing that, sooner or later the world's gonna open up again, people are gonna want to go outside and go buy their groceries as opposed to getting it delivered to them. We started to pivot again. We started before everything opened up, and while we were still doing great with our online sales, we said, let's take this opportunity where we have all this extra revenue coming in and let's start investing in our infrastructure. So we started scaling up, getting ready for retail stores, understanding what it meant to get our distribution in order, securing manufacturing facilities that can help us produce our products and really meet that demand of wherever our customer was.
Yeah.
So our customers, from our e-commerce platform were, that really helped us get to the point where, it validated us to make this transition into retail.
Awesome. Yeah. And speaking of retail, you recently, like within the last few months, got a contract with Walmart Supercenter.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Excited.
Congratulations.
So yeah, we're now in Walmart Supercenters from North Carolina and South Carolina, and we're like my husband said, everything that we do is strategic. You can try to dive right in, or you can take your time, learn, your customer, and then continue to grow that way. So we're now in those stores in North Carolina and South Carolina, and we're looking to expand. So can't wait to make that announcement.
Awesome. So I love your story because I'm sure there's a lot of people that have like a similar story, or they're going through what you went through as far as just taking that leap of faith and starting that business and doing, that's my story. 2020, in the midst of a pandemic, I took that leap of faith. So what is some advice that you can give people like me, other entrepreneurs that are trying to get to a level where you are and even expand?
I would really say first and foremost, everybody's dynamic is different. Not everyone has a wife like Marquita. So I'm very blessed and fortunate.
Not everyone has a kid.
Oh gosh. I know,
okay,
nobody else
sorry.
needs to know about
not
that.
everyone has my husband.
There you go. We save Debbie for later. But so we did what worked best for us. At the same time, we were okay with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are. We didn't say, we have the perfect product right out the gate, so let's stick with that, and people are going to buy it, and if they don't, then oh well. We decided to, receive feedback. We look at feedback as a blessing. It allows us to get better. The one thing I say is we learn cheaply.
Yeah.
Whenever we made mistakes, we're able to quickly adjust, learn from it, and find a way to pivot or shift where we were able to capitalize off the missed opportunity. Be very intentional, and really don't just jump out there. I would say, do your research.
Yes.
We spent years researching our products before anyone ever got a chance to taste it.
Years.
Because when we launched this product, we didn't want no one else to have ever experienced a syrup like ours when we first created our syrup. And that was, I think taking the time to build that foundation allowed us to really, really excel because, we had that firm foundation in place. We were still learning as we grow, but we gave ourselves the opportunity to be flexible enough to adapt.
Good stuff. And we're still learning and growing. You never
Yes, we
Every
are.
day.
Every single day we learn something new. And I think another thing is, babe, I'm glad that you said allowing yourself to be uncomfortable. With any growth, with any stretch, it doesn't feel good. you're learning and you're growing and you're having to embrace change. And I think, that would be one of the things that I give to any expiring or ones who are already kind of, the way we are, we're working and growing, embrace change, take feedback because it's ultimately for the customer.
Yeah. Now, not every feedback is, something you should follow verbatim, of course.
Yeah.
But you have to really benchmark yourself within the industry and say, okay, well, this is what my competition is doing. This is what market research shows me. Be able to sit and comprehend data too. I think that was one of my strong points I was able to bring to the business. Being able to kind of read data and trends and understand.
Yeah.
This, if you never knew, there's there are seasons where in business some products do better than others.
Yeah.
You have to understand, like, some products are seasonal, and that affects your distribution. It's going to affect, what customers you're going to reach out to. It's going to affect what stores are buying, what stores you're interested in getting into. They buy on cycles. So you have to understand the cycles. You have to understand, okay, when you need to be ready, how many stores are you servicing in this area? It's a lot that goes into it.
But as you grow, you'll find that the people who are attached to you and are attached to your growth, it's going to come. You just have to keep walking it out.
Because I start going down the list and I'm starting to think like, I'm like, Lord Jesus, I got to get back to this customer now because I got to, but so thank you for bringing me back. Because I would say the biggest thing is just making sure that you do your research, you ask a lot of questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We have always been, those who are just, kind of bold and fearless and just walk up to somebody and say, hey, can you explain this to me? We reach out to people in different areas.
Bold.
And most people, you'd be surprised, you don't get a lot of no's.
You really don't. And I think it's because a lot of people either have that pride or they're shy. Listen, when you start a business and you get an emotional business, you cannot be shy at all. That goes out the window. Now, I'm kind of reserved. My husband and I both are very reserved when it comes to get-togethers and parties and things of that sort.
Yeah, we're introverted, but not when it comes to our money.
Right.
You better break out of that comfort zone. We'll go to that networking event if that's where our buyers are at. And that's the thing. Like, we have just been bold enough to contact companies and just say, hey, what are you guys, interested in? What do your buying cycles look like? We get information. Sometimes you might speak to a secretary or a receptionist who will pass it along. Don't be afraid to leave a sample with somebody. You never know who might, get your product.
Yeah.
You never know. So were you craving pancakes? Like, that's where the idea.
You know what? I want to wait till my husband get here to answer that, because everyone asks, okay, why was pancakes and syrup? So, honestly, my husband, I love him because when I could not, cook, I'm the cooker in the household. Some households are different where it's the man that do majority of the cooking and, she fill in. I'm the majority cooker, my husband fill in. And so to make a long story short, when I just couldn't do, my husband had to take over, and he was doing the best that he could. Like, he was making a lot of different foods. And that's why I say we quickly found out that quick and easy is not a lot of sodium, or it's a lot of preservatives, something somewhere I couldn't have.
So let me correct you a bit. Because I don't want to give the false perception that I don't know how to cook.
Okay, yes, thank you, baby.
My mother was a caterer. So Marquita's mom was a chef. My mom was a caterer.
Nice.
So, I know how to cook. And there's a lot of dishes I can make much better than Marquita can. Ooh, I do not like to cook. And I take a lot longer to cook than she does, because I do like a lot of prep work. I move like real meticulous. I follow recipes. My kids like, that tastes good, just do that. So our cooking styles are very different. So cooking is like a job to me. It's very tedious. It's labor intensive. Whereas Marquita, it's just whatever.
Well, he had to do it, and I don't care if you had to do it long work. He had to go in that kitchen and cook for us. And you know, he was also, as he mentioned before, in school,
Yeah.
working. I mean, we had a busy lifestyle, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people can relate. You know, you have a busy lifestyle, you don't have time to go in and do a bunch of prep and do a bunch of, you know,
Yeah.
cook. You don't have hours. I
Right.
have to feed my family like now. So
Yeah. Plus, a lot of people don't cook anymore. You know, so when you're talking about, you know, you have to get out to go to work. I'm not gonna sit here and go, you know, full breakfast. I'm gonna try to grab some quick, you know, quick and easy, or I'm gonna go to, you know, a restaurant,
yeah,
drive-through or something, and grab something. We want to help people have alternatives to that, to fast food, quick meals that are high in sodium, you know, and not make cooking feel intimidating.
that's it.
You
And
know,
that's what I think I was gonna really highlight. We started with syrups first, and with syrups, my husband, he would make oatmeal, teas, coffees. I mean, we didn't have a label on it. It was just a syrup that we created, and we wanted it, we
Yeah.
just enjoyed
it was
it.
just a natural sweetener because our syrup is a sugar base. It's not necessarily just a pancake
Yeah,
syrup. It goes great with
sweet
pancakes.
potatoes,
But yeah, drizzle on some sweet potatoes. You know,
ice cream. I mean,
I
he
put-
did the thing.
Is it good on like key?
yeah. And I even glazed the turkey with it for
Mhm.
Thanksgiving.
Oh, nice.
So you know, it's a lot you can do with it.
And so we started there, and then, you know, far as with pancakes, you know, once again, it's that taste and time, you know, the kind of pancakes that don't have the preservatives and a whole bunch of other different additives in it, they really didn't have it. They had you know, they
Oh, they
had
had it.
choices,
No,
but
they
it was,
had it. It's just taste nasty.
well, yeah,
I
I was
don't
trying
want to
not
say,
to
Lord,
say
forgive
that.
me. I don't want to say
I was
that.
trying, for a pregnant woman, it was nasty.
It wasn't a taste we were accustomed to.
I like that. And so instead of getting in the kitchen to do a bunch with the buttermilk, the eggs, and you know, we created the pancake mix. And boy, when we brought family and things over, and you know, we created it or whatever, they loved it. They loved it. So that's how we got started with Blanket.
That's awesome. So y'all, great conversation, great conversation. So let me ask, with you being a married couple, how do you balance the business and, you know, the family aspect?
You want me to?
Okay,
Well, I didn't want to answer this one. All right. So it, you know, that in itself was a, you know, kind of a learning experience. We had to build a
Yes.
foundation and set expectations around, you know, when is business time and when is family time.
yeah.
And also how to, you know, understand and respect each other's roles in the business as well in relation to our household dynamic. So, you know, Marquita is the CEO of the company. You know, God gave her the vision, and you know, I'm supporting my wife in that because I feel like she has the vision. You know, she has a vision, she has a direction to lead us, you know, to success. And my job as, you know, the COO and CFO right now, trying to hire a new CFO as soon as I can, Lord help, is really to make sure that, you know, the big ideas, you know, she has, you know, can come to fruition. So with that, that's a very natural for us because it mirrors our marriage in that, you know, as the head of the household, you know, as the husband, I feel that it's my job to lead, protect, and care for my family. And you know, we are very much spiritual people, so we feel like God has kind of set an order for that. And Marquita and I are partners, but I respect her enough to let her have the final decision in the business. So if there's a disagreement, you know, we intentionally set up she's 51%, and this was me who made the decision. I said, because I don't want there to be arguments or confusion. You're 51%, I'll be 49. So if there's ever a vote or, you know, something we're stuck on, you'll be the deciding factor on that. That way we keep the peace.
Another thing that we did is we, starting off with that foundation, we created rules. You know, every business, every organization have a certain, you know, rule or, you know, tools that they use in order to keep the order. So in our business, we created rules and boundaries, you know, where it's not a husband or a wife running this. This is just based off principle, period. This is the rules, you know, we gotta oblige by it because that's just showing respect for one another.
Yeah. So, another thing too, we don't talk about business in the bedroom. So we
No,
have a home office. Now we're in our distribution center here in Charlotte, in Mint Hill right now, but we do have a home office too. So if we ever have to talk about business at home, we go down into the office to have that conversation.
Mhm.
I love that.
We might, pass by and say, oh, I had an email, so or I got a meeting, but if there's a decision that needs to be made or we have to have a serious conversation, like, hold on, let's stop, let's go downstairs, let's have this conversation.
Yeah,
And then, when we're back at home, we're at home. Because our kids are very much present with us. They were there with us in strollers and car seats
they were
when
there.
we would do a farmer's market in the beginning, and they're here with us now, and they're in our conference room right now because, summer vacation, right? So they just happen to be with us this week.
Yeah, and when you have a business with kids, I love what that, babe. The kids are part of this business. Though they're not answering phones or, setting plans, quarterly plans, they're a part because their behavior and things of that sort, they have a responsibility when they enter into the doors as well.
Right.
Mhm. This is something that, this is a legacy that we're establishing for our children. This is something that's going to be generational. And if they choose not to, run the business, that's fine, as they get older. But we want to let them know that this is theirs,
Yes.
and they need to honor and respect it and see it as something that, this is something that belongs to our family. This is, this business is a gift to our family. We need to treasure it.
Mhm.
I love that. And just creating that generational wealth for your family.
Absolutely.
Something that I'm so proud of us as a Black people. We are coming together and we are learning, because we didn't have that luxury in the past, but now we are the next generation. We're coming up and we're learning, okay, we need to set this up for our family and the family to come because, everybody else doing it, we can do it too. So I love that.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
that's not to exclude anyone else, but we take every opportunity to support our people whenever we can.
Yeah.
Because of that very reason, generational wealth is something that, this country is built upon. If you look at a lot of families who've always had it, money, we haven't had the luxury to say, we come from old money,
Mhm.
but we can change that now rather than not focusing on what we don't have.
Yeah.
We're so gifted, we're so talented as a people that as long as we can, collectively, unify our efforts around a common goal, there's nothing we can't do. It's nothing we can't accomplish.
Love
We've
it.
proven that time and time again. So it's so important that, you take time to really invest in your community.
Yeah.
Which is what this actually what our business is based on. So our company is based upon our 3 foundation pillars, and that is nutrition, accessibility, and community. And every decision we make in the company has to tie into one of those pillars. If it doesn't, we don't do it. So that's why we are committed to only being an all-natural company. That's why we are committed to being as accessible to our people as possible and making sure that we educate our community around healthier food options and dietary habits.
Love it, love it, love it. And we're going to end with this. You mentioned earlier, just how your faith kept you both, through this process of starting the business. That is something that I believe in as well. And, I am extremely grateful to God because of how he took me in my journey. So just to see how he's brought you guys, that's just motivation, extra motivation.
Wow. I mean, as a believer, I can honestly say throughout the story that my husband gave from 2017 till now, it has been 100% faith. It's a faith walk.
Yeah.
And as I said before, it's scary because you see he gives you a glimpse of where you're trying to go, but it's like, man, I don't know anything. Like, what do we need to do? You asking yourself all these questions and having to walk it out and have faith.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing, but trust me when I tell you, if you believe it, you ask, you will receive it.
Yeah.
If you just continue to keep walking,
Absolutely.
it comes.
Faith without works is dead. And, sometimes we get the destination, we understand what the destination is, but we don't quite understand the journey. But we have to have faith and diligence and continue to walk through it. And, we have the utmost confidence that our Father's going to show us the answer.
Yes.
You know, he's been faithful to us this far. One thing I always tell my wife, God didn't bring us this far to fail.
That's it.
So whenever we face any type of adversity, something that seems like it's going to be impossible, we're not going to be able to meet this deadline. We're not going to be able to do this. You know, this product launch is not going to, you know, happen. He didn't bring us this far to fail.
And every time.
You know, every time he sees, you know, he sees
Every
us through.
time. Yep.
I'm a witness to that.
Yes. Yes. Every time.
Absolutely.
Our time is up, but I thank you both so much for taking this opportunity to share. I'm grateful. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. It was really, really an honor to be on your show. Thank you so much. Definitely.
Thank you. And let me know when that the sweet potato pancake drop, because I will be first in line to try that. What is your syrup pairing? What's a good syrup pairing for that one?
Oh my God, either one. I mean, with the sweet potato, of course, cinnamon. I don't know. We're torn.
I like the vanilla bean with it. I think the vanilla goes great with the sweet potatoes.
Either one.
I'll get both. I'll get both. But can you tell us how we can reach out to you, how we can follow you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can, you know, our website is blanketps.com. You can also follow us on Instagram at Blanket Pancakes and Syrup, as well as Facebook at Blanket Pancakes and Syrup. And then, you know, we have a lot of our cooking demonstrations on, you know, our social media and our email, as well as some recipe ideas for, you know, you all as well. If you're in the North Carolina, you know, South Carolina region, you can purchase our products in Walmart and Food Lion and World Market. And we're going to be actually expanding later this year.
You can't say that.
We can't say the stores, but we're going to be expanding into some more stores as well. But we'll make an announcement for that pretty soon.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you both again. I hope you have an amazing day. And
you too.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.